Well, I've had the pleasure of knowing Patricia almost 10 years, and we live here in Gainesville together. And I met Patricia when she was doing a fundraiser for an organization that she created calling Help Children Heal. And what she does is she was raising money for children that she met and selected for various wonderful places that she's been in the world, where she would raise money to take care of their medical needs. So we've been two women with a mission and a journey, both of us trying to help people use healing, activate healing in their lives. So I'd love it if you would tell your story of how you came to this place.
Thank you, Mary. Yes, in line with Mary just shared, I was a wanderer of the world, and I'm fascinated by other cultures, and I backpacked through many countries in Himalaya. And always touched me, kids, particularly with needs in health care, not existent for them. And so that's how I started that little organization, just a little bit of help. But besides that, I was also a mother and a dietitian, a researcher, a speaker, and a gardener, a biker, several things. And very, very, very full life. 24 hours was not enough for me. I always had things that I had to do because they're important to me. And one day, all of that changed, and that was 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, I was diagnosed with a very rare type of cancer, and in a split second, everything was different. So I'd like to share with you part of my book and how my reaction was when the doctor told me that I had this cancer. But right before that, I'd like to say that I was just going for my regular annual checkup with the gynecologist, and I very casually asked if it was normal for me to have a little bit of a bleeding before and after my periods, and she said, let's take a look at that. And it just so happened that I had 2 fibroids, which are usually benign, and 5 months later, I went into surgery to remove them. But again, everybody thinking it was regular fibroids, benign. So I go to the doctor, and this is what happens. This type of tumor likes to travel to the lungs and the liver, but I took it all out. You in stage 1, you have a good chance. In my mind, I thought, cancer, aggressive, travel, no treatment, chance. My mind spins. I feel clumsy and numb, as if I had just entered a dark room with no exit doors, no windows, no light. It's cold here, helpless, lifeless, just like I feel inside. A tear rolls down my cheek, and I plead with the doctor, please get my husband and my sisters. You're not going to faint on me, are you? She asks, looking at my pale face. I nod and stay still. Time passes very slowly. When they enter the room, I say the dreaded words for the first time. I have cancer, and it's the worst type. I knew at that moment that my life would never be the same. I passed through a door and entered a cold space from where there would be never a true exit or way to escape. An aggressive intruder had busted into my body and my life. I questioned, where did my freedom go? Where are my dreams of growing older, of holding my grandkids someday? Where is the healthy body within my thin frame? I am silent on the drive home. I am still numb in a dense fog. And everything changed from that point on. And I relied on meditation to keep my sanity on the first few months. And everything changed, including the fact that now I have to face death and I have to face the limitation of my life. So this was quite a journey, one that I was not ever prepared for, because in our culture we see death as something to dread, something to fear. But little by little, I changed. And then I saw that while I walked on the hills of Himalaya, when I learned with other cultures that actually start dealing with death as they live, as they are young, and they see that just as a transition. And then, I started kind of shape my views in a more positive way. I didn't have to dread it so much. A certain day, a couple years ago, Michael Singer, the author of The Untethered Soul, he told me, "You were dancing beautifully with death." I took like, what is he saying? Dancing with death? I spent the day thinking about it, and then I said, well, let me change that to, I'm dancing with life as I keep death at bay. But in reality, I cannot keep death at bay. I can be living, but we all come with an expiration date. And when it comes, it comes. I have seen people healthy that just in this past year, 3 people that seem to be healthy and are in their 40s, and they just died instantaneously from, a stroke.
We don't know.
So we really don't know. So because we don't know, I think the most important thing is to live the now. And that is something that I had to do. Not to be thinking about, oh my God, when is my time is going to come? Right. And then be so fearful what is to come. There's a lot of uncertainty. But that's how it is. This is life.
And you have, in the years that I've known you since this has all happened to you, I've been able to witness like an incredible transformation. And with the book that you've written, and you have opened yourself up to so many people to be an inspiration, and really have shown that life can be the celebration. You might be facing the end and a limited time, but each and every day, I can see that you're radiant and you're alive and you're full of light. And that's been a gift that I've been able to witness. So thank you so much for sharing that story. And I want to also would take a pause, and then I'd like you to talk about how you used writing as a way of healing.
Absolutely.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.